we were pantyhose, we're serious.
Did you get expected the amount we got? Yeah, I was up on top of.
Started here April 7th and call this meeting to order. I've asked Rick Husk to lead us in the pledge, and Mr. Menlove will lead us in the invocation right after.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our eternal Heavenly Father, we are grateful that we can bow our heads before Thee this day with gratitude in our hearts for the blessings that Thou hast poured out upon us, blessings we have received. Heavenly Father, there are many that still suffer and have needs of Thy tender care. We pray in their behalf. We pray that we may be Thy hands here on the earth in helping to serve others. We're grateful for the opportunity that the Board of Supervisors has an opportunity to meet this morning. We pray that Thy Spirit will attend us and that Thou will guide and direct us in all that we say and do, that we may always seek to do Thy will. This we pray in the name of Thy beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We have a lot on the agenda today, so we'll get started and get moving on it. First item is item 2A. I'm going to call for a motion to table this item. They're not ready right at this time.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion to table item 2A in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Item 2B is a presentation of Gila County's first half of fiscal year 26 general fund performance. Good morning, Maren.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. I won't take much of your time today. I will apologize that it took us until April to get this data in front of you. We kept having additional information come through, and we are doing a little bit better than we expected as of December 31st, where you can see that our salaries and EREs were just under 50%. Our operating expenses were right in that 1/3 range. So the total of all the expenditures and encumbrances is right around 50%. And then your revenues are also doing strong in the general fund. Just note that this doesn't include any flood-related expenditures. Those are running through the emergency fund. Happy to answer any questions you have and happy to get the next round of this information to you much sooner.
Thank you so much. Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
Mayor, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that presentation. There's no vote on that, so.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 3A, we're public hearing, information, discussion, action to adopt resolution number 260402, approving Gila County Community Development Case number CUPP 2601-001. It's a request by Destry Development for DW Tower applicant, and for Stephen and Christine Llewellyn, the owner of the property, for a conditional use permit upon Gila County's assessor's tax parcel number 302-18001C, located at 1804 North Pile Ranch Road in the Payson area. Good morning, Randy.
Morning. So this is, I'll make this easier, this is a tower going out on a 77.86 acre parcel. We had to extend, normally we notify within 300 feet. We tried to go out 1,000 feet, still couldn't get to anyone. So everything that's around here is on this parcel. They're out there in the middle by themselves. This is for a 125-foot multi-use tower to go up. So far, we've had no complaints, no comments from the public, and the board voted unanimously to approve. So with that, I will answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you. We also have Mr. Destry with us here today. I'd like for him to say the words that he was, and then we'll open it up for questions. Good morning.
Good morning, supervisors, and thank you. My name is Reg Destry. I'm with Destry Development. We are representing DW Tower in this proposal. There's a long agenda. I don't have a whole lot to say. I certainly can answer any questions you might have on this. So
Okay.
I think we have a good location here.
Thank you. Questions, Mr. Humphrey?
I have no questions. Just kind of a thank you for helping better cell service in that area, because that's kind of a rural environment with vehicle accidents and things of that nature. And so thank you for helping us be better in touch.
Your district, Mr. Klein.
It is, thanks. It's good to see it going on a piece of property there's nobody around, so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, thank you. I have no questions. So with that, I'll open it up to the public. Anyone here in Globe that wishes to speak to that? No? Payson?
No, sir.
And no one on the internet. Okay, so then I'll close that and call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt resolution number 26-04-02.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Randy. Public hearing item number 3B, information, discussion, action to review the goals, objectives, and policies of the Gila County Public Housing Authority and authorize the chairman's signature on the various required forms related to the Gila County PHA's fiscal year 25 annual plan certifications by adopting resolution number 26-04-01. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Today is the annual Public Housing Authority annual plan. We are required by HUD to go out and do a public hearing for any of the residents that have any questions, concerns, and no one has picked up any information from our office. But I would like to give you just a little brief. We have 73 vouchers in Gila County, 20 in Payson, 5 in Tonto Basin, and there are 48 in the Globe Miami area. So we do have a wait list on Section 8 public housing. So just wanted to give you a little insight on that and see if there are any questions that you'd like me to answer on this annual report.
Thank you, Paula. Supervisor Humphrey.
I have no questions.
Supervisor Klein.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
All right, I'll open it up to the public. Anyone have any things they'd like to say? Here in Globe? No. Payson?
No, sir.
Thank you, and Cassandra, we're fine, so with that, I'll close the public hearing portion and call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to authorize the chairman's signature on the various required forms related to the Gila County PHA's FY '25 annual plan certifications by adopting resolution number 260401.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you very much.
All right. Item number 4 is executive session. 4A, it's to information, discussion, and action to vote to go into executive session pursuant state statute to engage in discussion or consultation for legal advice with the attorney or attorneys of the Board of Supervisors regarding economic development agreements and activities. Policy number BOS FIN 016. And I will call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to enter into executive session to address agenda item 4A pursuant to ARS 38431.03A. 3, for legal advice and direction regarding economic development agreements and activities, and policy number BOS-FIN-016.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to adjourn into executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Come back. We'll call the meeting back to order here in the board room, and there won't be an action vote. It's just instructions for our legal department to proceed with what we discussed and the changes necessary that we discussed. So moving on to our regular agenda items, we're going to move item 5T to the very front due to time constraints. It's information, discussion, action to adopt resolution number 260405, approving the sale and execution and delivery of pledged revenue obligations. Series 2026, approving the form and authorization, the execution and delivery of necessary agreements, instruments, and documents, delegating authority to determine certain matters with respect to the foregoing, and declare an emergency, and approve the use of cooperative contracts with Stifel, Nicholas and Company as underwriter, and Greenberg Trorig LLP as bond counsel for the 2026 bond financing transaction for the flood recovery projects utilizing the Strategic Alliance for Volume Expenditures Cooperative Contracts. There's a lot of words in there. Good morning, Maren.
Good morning, Mr.
Again.
Chair. Good morning, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. As spelled out in this agenda item, we had our 11-391 hearing in March. We have had a couple of presentations about the financial needs and impacts and opportunities that go with this. And we are asking you this morning for a roll call vote to approve potentially selling these bonds so that Gila County can have the resources to cover its share and the cash flow requirements for flood recovery in southern Gila County. Happy to answer any questions. We also have Mark Reeder and Paul Gales here. Mark is from Stifel and Paul is from Greenberg. If you have any questions for them, they're happy to answer.
Thank you, Maren. Supervisor Humphrey?
I have no questions.
Supervisor Klein?
We're still looking at the 18 million? Right?
Yes, sir. To clarify, this is a reimbursement-based bond, so they will not just give us $18 million. We have to spend the money, say that it's been spent, and get reimbursed.
Okay.
So we can't overspend or spend on projects that you have not approved.
So I think that's a good thing. You know, going back to our previous meetings, I think we were setting actually about $13 million is what our cost, somewhere around there is what our cost was gonna be,
Yes.
actual cost. And so you guys, I know, talked about having the financial ability to have more access to cash flow, stuff like that. That's why the difference to the 18 million. I absolutely do not want to go any further than what we have to for cash. I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I've listened to Mark. Mark's very good at explaining all this. But there's still a concern that I have, and that's getting it paid back.
Yes.
You know, and I think I'm not the only one with that concern. And I've sat on this board now for 9 years and have been adamant about the fact I will not vote to raise taxes.
Correct. And this will not affect taxes. This is a pledged revenue bond that will be repaid through state shared sales tax, PILT, and vehicle license tax.
What it comes down to at the end of the year, we've got some pretty good payments to make, you know, between this and the other bonds we have.
Correct.
And so I worry the fact that we are a small county, we only have so much to work with. The other thing that I worry about is this isn't a fix. This is a Band-Aid, and I've said that more than once. I mean, we could no longer get started with this and have issues, and there's issues that we do need to address. I'm not gonna say there's not. But if, in fact, this is collect the money as we need it, and I would expect that that's gonna come in front of the board as things like that come up, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, that is the standard.
So,
Yes.
I still don't have a real warm fuzzy feeling about it, especially the $18 million part of it. I do not like that one. The 13 million makes me pause, but I can't get past the fact we do have some projects we need to fix. And the fact of the matter, we'll get the money as we need it and go along, you know, so another thing I'm getting at is we've identified the projects we need to work on already. So I'm not gonna be one that's gonna be looking for new projects to add on top of this. It's like we're gonna work with what we have to do, which Homero has already laid out for us, and it did an exceptional job of it. But there's only so much we can go on this project. It's getting pretty tight. And I'll let Chairman talk, well, I think some more about it.
So I guess we're not gonna buy the jet?
No, he'll talk it out too.
Oh, man.
And we have, Mark, please correct me if I overstate this, but we have built into the documents and the structure of the financing that as we get reimbursed by the four-letter agencies, that we have the freedom to pay that back directly to the bond. So we won't have to, right, you amortize it over the life of the bond, but we have it set up that we can pay it back faster than that. So that that massively reduces the risk that you could inadvertently spend the money twice. You know how like every kid with their first credit card puts emergencies on their credit card and then spends the money twice? This is structured to prevent us from doing that.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may, Marion, thank you for that because you're absolutely correct. It's different than our PRPS bond. That's over the full course of the deal, but this one actually can be paid off earlier. So that is a huge help, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's just those numbers,
Yes.
you know, that's just where I'm at.
We have also, for the purposes of your ability to conserve cash and be wise about that, the way this is structured, the first payment isn't due until January of '27 instead of being due July 1st, so that you're not starting the new fiscal year with a payable of $2 million.
Appreciate that. I don't like the fact that we have to borrow money. I don't see a way around it, though. I don't like the fact that we have a very short time period to get the projects done, and all of that. But whether I like it or not is really what we're discussing. It's whether or not we're just going to approve to go ahead with it. And so I would like to hear more from you later about how we do plan on paying for this added expense.
Okay.
And you just gave a little bit of a list of where the money will come from, but that also means that that money won't be used for what it's being used for now. So it does take away, and we just need to know the impact. I don't believe I have a clear picture of the impact of what this is going to do. And so, Mr. Menlove, you have a question?
Just a comment, Mr. Chairman, members of
Okay.
the board. To look at the magnitude of why we as staff are recommending the 18 million is that the immediate projects that we have are about almost $30 million. And the cash flow for $30 million over the next 200 days is significant and enables us to continue operations. Our matching portion of that is a little bit less than 8 million, but the magnitude of 30 million over the next 9 months is significant for us and enables us to meet the cash flow requirements that we have for those projects that are immediate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So Mr. Reeder is here with us today. Do we have any specific questions for him?
I don't. Mark's been really good at all this.
Supervisor Humphrey?
Yeah, I have no questions. I mean, I've been pretty clear on this. We're in a state of emergency. We've had major emergencies, and not borrowing money, I don't know that we could ever have enough money in savings to be able to handle some of the things that we've been have to deal with. From our labor forces, that from our equipment used, from all the time spent. You know, we can't use like our HERF funds for some of that, so we have to put that back in the kitty. We have all these contractors lined up that we've got to get done, and the federal government's approved these projects, so we're going to get money. We just don't know when.
Right.
And I'm gracious that we have the opportunity to be able to have the money to do what our constituents need us to do, and the fact that we're going to get federal money. We're working with our lobbyists in the state and the governor on funding over the next 5 years to help make these payments if we don't get funded through the federal government. So to me, it's a big safety net. It's not a big hole that we're jumping into. It's a safety net to keep us from having major difficulties and to not get the work done that we need to for our constituents to fix the banks so it can't happen again, and to reimburse us for all the sediment and stuff that we're gonna have to haul off somewhere else to keep in our own landfill. So to me, it's a safety net, and I appreciate very much the opportunity that they're not loaning us the money and we gotta pay it all back. It's an open book. We don't have to take the full 18 million. If we only use $3 million, they're happy with that. And so to me, that's unusual that someone would have you in a bad situation and not try to take advantage of you. They're just trying to help. So I appreciate it very much, and I do have faith in our federal government and our state that they will help us and to pay this money back. So like I say, to me, it's a safety net, not a big black hole that we're falling in. And so that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Supervisor?
So there's a lot of what you said, Tim, I do agree with. I don't want to sound like the one in the room that's a naysayer, but Gila County has always had issues through the history of flooding. We're always going to have those issues. It's just a matter of when our next go-round is. And that's something that I've been really kicking myself around about as well, because we could no sooner get this thing started and our projects going that need done. I'm not denying they don't need done, and have another flood event in July. I mean, so what I'm saying is I don't want to see us set ourselves up in a position where we're corner hooked in July to help anybody else out. Like if the county's strapped to the max, what do we do then? So these are things that are out there. I know it's a what if, and it may not ever happen, but it's still sitting there. And so that's my idea, is us not to have to go to that $18 million. Keep it within reason that we can handle.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reader, for coming and being available for anything. Doesn't look like we have any questions for you. So you have a safe trip now as you have to go up to Flagstaff. So with that, Woody, do you have the motion for us on this item?
Yeah,
Is it your turn?
it is.
I can do it. I think it'll end up being my turn in the deal, so. I move to adopt resolution number 260405 and approve the use of cooperative contracts with Stifel, Nicholas and Company and underwriters C005-0-2223 and Greenberg Charig LLC RFP 24-0829 as bond counsel for the 2026 bond financing transaction for the flood recovery projects utilizing the strategic alliance of volume expenditures, save cooperative contract as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve. Charlotte, would you please give us the roll call vote?
Supervisor Klein, may I have your vote?
Aye.
Supervisor Humphrey, may I have your vote?
Aye.
Supervisor Christensen, may I have your vote?
Aye.
Thank you.
That's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Maren.
Thank you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Moving on to item 5A. This is one of mine. It's information, discussion, action to approve an economic development agreement, number 2026-0231, between Gila County and the Strawberry Patchers Incorporated, in the amount of $1,000. It's for sponsorship for the Strawberry Patchers 28th Annual Quilt Show, which the board has determined to be for the benefit of the public. And with us today from the Strawberry Patchers, Ms. Chris Levitro. Do you have a few words on how this benefits you and others?
Supervisor Christensen, it's wonderful to be here today, and I thank you for even considering this request. But our show brings in about 1,000 people to the Pine Strawberry area, promotes, you know, the restaurants and the lodging facilities, plus the money that we bring in for our show goes back to the community, to the nonprofit organizations within Pine Strawberry and Payson, to the tune of about $10,000 a year. We have our own, what we call country store, so we sell our items that we make, our quilts and other things that we make that are useful in everyday life. And so we generate a lot of income ourselves, but we always need help. So that's why we requested this.
Thank you very much, and you guys do an awesome job. Supervisor Humphrey, any questions?
I have no questions other than just thank you for all your volunteer work that you do.
Thank you. Supervisor Klein.
Yeah, same as Supervisor Humphrey. You guys do a good job.
Yep, appreciate you coming. Yeah, appreciate you coming today. So with that, I'll call for a motion, item 5A.
Okay, I think that's gonna be me. So I'll make the motion to approve economic development agreement number 2026-0231 with Strawberry Patchers Incorporated as presented, and which the board has determined to be for the benefit of the public.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
And Lisa, who's the gentleman with you? Is he here for a specific item?
It's Scott Warren.
Yeah, the item on here for Supervisor, Mr. Chair, is item W that Matt is actually presenting today. So, but we don't need to split it out in any particular order. Whatever you choose to do is fine.
Okay, so Scott, I didn't recognize you. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to ask to a motion to table item 5B. They've withdrawn their request for funding. It's another one of my items, so I'll call for a motion to table item 5B.
I'll second. Oh, I'll make a motion to table 5B.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Item 5C. Good morning, Shara.
Good morning.
We're going to be with Shara for a little while now. Information, discussion, action to approve or deny a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from James Muir, petitioning to have the individual tax exemption that is deemed waived by statute redeemed for year 2026. Shara.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair, supervisors. Under Arizona Revised Statute 42-11111, James Muir qualifies for a 100% property tax exemption as a 100% disabled veteran by the Veterans Affairs. ARS 42-11153A provides that if the qualified taxpayer does not file their application for exemption during January 1 and March 1, they waive the exemption. However, under ARS 42-11153B, this provides the way to redeem the waived exemption by petitioning you, the board. Mr. Muir did not file his application prior to March 1st because he was waiting on his tax returns to be finalized, which is one of the key components that must be submitted with the application.
As of right now, Mr. Muir will pay no property taxes for 2027 and beyond, but with your approval today, Mr. Muir would redeem his right to receive that exemption for 2026 tax year as well. His property is in Payson, so it's your district, Mr. Chair, and his primary assessed value is $34,474, which would give him a tax forgiveness of about $4,200. I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Sheriff. Supervisor Humphrey.
Just the same old questions. I guess I don't have a question of you, but as I look through here, I'm gonna ask my assistant, Tara, do you mind looking up these so I know what the qualifications are? So when these come before me, I know what they needed to do to get what they have. And so anyway, that's, and so this will be a zero tax property?
That is correct.
Will owe nothing from here on out?
That is correct, with the new
Okay.
law in place allowing for a full exemption for 100%
Okay.
disabled veterans.
Okay,
He will pay no taxes on his primary
Okay.
residence. Mhm.
thank you.
And if I may go ahead and respond to your comment there, Supervisor Humphrey, on the qualifications, there is an income cap for most of the exemptions. If you're a veteran, there is no income cap. That's a new law as well. So it doesn't matter what they make. There is normally a valuation cap on their property. For veterans, there is no cap now. But there is for widow, widower, total and permanent disabled persons. They have the valuation cap, they have the income cap. For the total and permanent, they would have to have a letter from their doctor, or they would have to the doctor would fill out one of our forms saying that they are total and permanent. For the veteran, they have to have the letter from the VA showing their disability. And everyone that I bring to you today and in the future have met all those qualifications, are qualified for the exemption in future years, and we're just getting them the exemption for the current year.
Supervisor Klein.
Sheriff, thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
I know Jim Muir very well. I know the issues he's had and everything and whatnot, and being a veteran and what he's went through. And it is good that we're giving these folks a break. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I know Jim as well. He's a great guy. And he told me that he received 2 Purple Hearts on separate occasions on the same day.
Yeah.
That's pretty unlucky.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from James Muir for tax year 2026.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Item 5D, information, discussion, action to approve or deny a petition of redemption. Exemption waiver from Benjamin V. Holston, petitioning to have an individual tax exemption that is deemed waived by the statute, redeemed for tax year 2026.
Yes, again, Mr. Chair, members of the board, we have the same statutes at play here. Benjamin Valiant James Holston qualifies for the 100% property tax exemption as a 100% disabled veteran. Mr. Holston did not file his application prior to March 1st because he was waiting on his tax return to be finalized, and again, a key component to the application. As of right now, Mr. Holston will pay no property taxes for 2027 and beyond, and we're asking for that to also include this year. His property is again in Payson, and primary assessed value $25,038, which would give a tax forgiveness of just over $3,000. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey?
It's not a question it's just the state law, is because I'm dealing with a lot of properties that end up without owners. And so, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great we're helping veterans and elderly people. It's just a lot of times when that property, when those people don't have that property anymore, I ended up dealing with a lot of properties that don't have owners, And if they're not paying at least $1 in taxes, then we don't know who's paying those property taxes. Or it can't go to a tax lien foreclosure sale because there's no taxes owed. And so it just created a problem that I have in legislation this year to try to help with some of these properties. So I'm not against it. I'm just against a complete no tax. And so, thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Certainly.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good, Chair, thank you.
I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve a petition for redemption for exemption waiver for Benjamin B. Holston for tax year 2026.
And I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item 5E is information, discussion, action to approve or deny petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Janice M. Smoot, petitioning to have the property tax exemption on parcel 304-12-046 that is deemed waived by the statute, redeemed for tax year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, under all the same statutes, Janice M. Smoot qualifies for a partial property tax exemption as a widow. Ms. Smoot did not file her application because she was unaware that the application window closed on March 1st. As of right now, Ms. Smoot does qualify for next year and beyond, and we ask for this year to be included. This property is in Payson. The primary assessed value on Ms. Smoot's property is $18,547. The allowable exemption, then this is state law, is $4,873. That amount gets deducted from the primary assessed, leaving an assessed value of $13,674 and would provide roughly a tax forgiveness of $860 for Ms. Smoot, but she will still owe taxes. Happy to answer any questions.
Supervisor Humphrey.
I have no questions.
Supervisor Klein.
Good to go.
I'll call for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Janice M. Smoot for tax year 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. In favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Real quick, when you said widow, is she a widow of a veteran or just specifically a widow?
Just a widow.
Okay, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Item 5F, information, discussion, action to approve or deny a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Mary F. Lowe, petitioning to have the property tax exemption on parcel 301-16-069 is deemed waived by the statute, redeeming for tax year 26.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, same statutes. Mary F. Lowe qualifies for a partial property tax exemption as a widow. She did not get in through the application window because she was unaware of the program. She qualifies for next year and beyond. We ask for this year to be applied as well. Her property is in Pine. The primary assessed value is $15,860, less the statutory amount of $4,873 would land her a net assessed value of $10,987, giving her an estimated tax forgiveness of $739. Happy to answer questions.
Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good.
Call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve a petition for redemption of expansion waiver for Mary F. Lowe for tax year 2026.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Item 5G, information, discussion, action to approve or deny petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Stephen L. Cantrill, petitioning to have the property tax exemption on parcel 304-07-006B that is deemed waived by the statute, redeemed for tax year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, same statutes. Stephen L. Cantrill qualifies for a 100% property tax exemption as a 100% disabled veteran. He did not file his application in a timely fashion because he was unaware of the program. He is approved for next year and beyond. We ask for this year to be included. The property is in Payson. primary assessed value, $24,259, which would provide a complete tax forgiveness of just over $2,500.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good.
I'll call for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve a petition for redemption of exemption waiver, Stephen L. Cantrell, for the tax year of 2026.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Item 5H, information, discussion, action to approve or deny a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Jerry L. Kirkham Sr. Petitioning to have the property tax exemption on parcel 305400009B, which is deemed waived by the statute, redeemed for tax year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I actually would like to pull this agenda item. Mr. Kirkham already has the exemption. It was an oversight on our part. Any veteran that already had the exemption automatically got kicked into the 100%, so no petition was needed.
Okay, so do we need to table this, Charlotte? Or what do we do with this? Okay, let's just have a vote to table it. I'll call for a motion to table item 5H.
Mr. Chair, I move to table 5H.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to table. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All right, last one, item 5I is information, discussion, action to approve or deny a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Joyce Colaw, petitioning to have the property tax exemption on parcel 301240096. It's deemed to be waived by the statute, redeemed for tax year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Under the same statutes, Joyce Colaw qualifies for a partial property tax exemption as a widow. She did not file in the application window because she was unaware of the program. She qualifies for next year and beyond. We asked for this year to be applied as well. Her property is in Pine. Her primary assessed value is $14,117. You deduct the statutory allowed amount of $4,873, leaving her a net assessed value of $9,244. This would also provide her an estimated tax forgiveness of $739.
Thank you, Supervisor Humphrey.
I guess all of these are up in the northern part of Gila County that you brought before us today?
Yes,
Okay, and a lot of times you said that they weren't aware of the program.
correct.
So are we doing anything to make the people in the southern part of Gila County aware of the program?
We're doing the same in the southern part as we do in the northern part.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Klein.
Sure, is that on our website that
Yes.
folks can click on and see what it takes to do this and who would be in
Yes, it is.
qualified? Good deal.
It's on our website. We put it on our Facebook page. We advertise veterans groups and other groups. We get the word out there as best we can.
Sounds like a winner to me, thank you.
Shara, I think you need to work on getting more revenue, not less.
I know, I'm sorry. I know.
Okay. Call for a motion. Item 5I.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve a petition for redemption of exemption waiver from Joyce Colaw for tax year 2026.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve in a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Shara.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll call for a motion to recess as the Gila County Board of Supervisors and convene as the Gila County Library Board of Directors.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Information, discussion, action to approve the renewal and acceptance of grantee agreement number GRA RC 00424120901Y4 between the Gila Regional Partnership Council, the Arizona Early Childhood Development and Health Board, and the Gila County Library District in the amount of $60,000 for fiscal year July 1, 2026 through June 30, 27. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, sir. This grant is a renewal, as as you know, and it's been a very popular grant that we've been part of since 2011, and it serves the entire county for children's grade from birth to 5 years old. And this year our goal is to enroll 1,300 children and to distribute 15,600 more books.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
Thank you very much for working with this and the library and the kids. Thank you.
Yeah. Supervisor Klein.
Natalie, thank you so much for this
Yeah.
program.
Thank you for what you're doing. With that, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the renewal and acceptance of grantee agreement number GRA RC 004-24-1209-01-Y4 between the Gila Regional Partnership Council, Arizona Childhood Development, and Health Board, First Things First, and the Gila County Library District in the amount of $60,000 as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Natalie. All right, let's move on to 5. No. I will call for a motion to adjourn as the Gila County Library Board of Directors and reconvene as the Gila County Board of Supervisors.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And just like that, we're transformed. 5K, information, discussion, and action to adopt proclamation number 2026-02 proclaiming April 2026 as Fair Housing Month in Gila County. Hello again, Paula.
Hello. So, Chairman, what we're doing today is we're going to be doing a couple of proclamations. I don't know if you'd like me to read them, but I can recap the Fair Housing Act. It just prohibits discrimination in the sale, rental, leasing, and financing of housing or land to be used for construction of housing or the provision of brokerage services on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, disability, family status, or national origin. So we would like for you to hopefully approve this so that our housing department can continue to receive their funds based on this proclamation. It's one of the grant deliverables that we have every year. So we would like to have you approve this for us.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Supervisor Klein.
Thank you, Paula.
Yeah, thank you, Paula. For time constraints, maybe we just don't need to read them all fully, so thank you for the information. With that, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to adopt proclamation number 2026-02.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. 5L, information, discussion, action to adopt proclamation number 2026-03, proclaiming April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Gila County. Paula.
And this one is for Child Abuse Prevention Month, just so that our children can grow up safe, healthy, and supported. And we hope that you'll approve this proclamation as well for Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
Yeah, is this kind of a program to let them know what abuse actually is?
This is actually,
I'm just wondering how that operates. Because if somebody's abusing a child, well, way to help them is put them in jail. But I mean, is this to help the children understand what's good behavior and bad behavior? Or?
Chairman, members of the board, this is actually a proclamation giving all of what prevention and what community agencies can do. But the education piece is really throughout, helping support other agencies to make it aware that this is Child Abuse Prevention Month, but it's not really enforcement or anything else. It just proclaims the month that we all get together and sort of make this a formality so everybody understands the importance of keeping our children safe and healthy. We could do some education behind it, but our education is in the schools. We do, tobacco-free, all of the supportive, adult, support education that we do in the schools with the children and the families is just a piece of it. So I think by proclaiming it just makes it evident out in the community.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Supervisor Klein.
Can we go for the whole year instead of just?
Right.
I mean, this is an important deal, and, to recognize it for a month is good. Recognize it for year-long, every year, would even be better, so. But thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, and I think it would be good to do even some more awareness if we could around this, you know. Blue is the color, and they do a lot with blue ribbon. You know, it would be nice to have, you know, maybe some of the departments having the blue ribbons and wearing them, because that would give awareness. People will ask, why are you wearing the blue ribbon? But honestly, there's a lot of awareness days throughout the year, a lot of months, but this is very important.
Yeah, thank you.
Paula, real quick, if you can answer quickly, who determines what abuse is?
Chairman, I would say probably, it depends on the report. It goes through our DCS, through our agency, but honestly, the front line, such as most of us here we're all reporters, mandatory reporters. So we make the calls to like a 1-800-SOS child, and at that point, an investigation starts. If it's an urgent issue, then actually the sheriff's office or the police department will come out and actually do an investigation there with the staff members, and I'm coming from the health department, so telling you a little bit about how we do it. If it is an issue that can be, they send it in conjunction with not only enforcement, but they go to DCS, Department of Child Safety, and they will actually go out and do an investigation as well.
Okay.
So that's sort of how it's based on, and then it goes to the courts. So ultimately, I believe the courts are involved with whether the child, but DCS is the one that can actually, if there's something going on, they can actually remove the child or children in the home.
Right.
And we do not have any homes here for them to remove them to.
Well, some abuse is obvious, you know, but then it's also culturally we're saying, you know, any disciplinary action that a parent has could be considered abusive if it hurts their feelings or you know, and we've kind of moved into that kind of a subjective realm. So that's why I was just wondering, who determines whether someone's being abused? So thanks for that answer.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah. All right, so I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt proclamation number 2026-03.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you,
Thank
Paula.
you.
Item 5M is information, discussion, action to approve a contract number 031726 with Motorola Solutions for license plate recognition system for the term of April 7th, 2026 through June 30th, 2026 for a maximum contract amount not to exceed $175,840, utilizing a sole source procurement method in accordance with county procurement policy. Hello, Cole.
Hey, good morning, Chairman Christensen, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. I'm excited to finally present this to you guys and hopefully get this tool in front of a lot of cops. It's been a passion of mine to get this tool for everybody for a lot of years. But it does have the potential to create some constituent concerns. So as much as I don't want to spend time going through something on a busy day that we've already got in front of us, I think making sure I give a good scope of work here and address some of the concerns that could potentially come up for you guys. I'm going to spend a little bit more time than I probably would. So first I'm going to drill in on the money, where it came from, the project scope, and then we'll hit the constituent concerns at the end. So the Sheriff's Office received $624,000 and some change from the state for local border security funds. That's designed to directly combat crime resulting from the proximity of the border and human trafficking and drug smuggling. We've used that money, about $308,000 went into our canine program. This automatic license plate reader project is going to be right around $315,000. The $175K we're talking about today is just for the purchase of the license plate reader hardware and then licensing for 5 years. Try to always figure out how to pay for it for at least a few years instead of trying to come up with that every year. So that's where the money comes from. Project implementation, although it is a sole source with Motorola, I mean, everything I pretty much present to you guys is a Motorola product. There is other companies out there. I know there's always concerns from the finance department and the board on how or why, even if we're using a state contract or a sole source. In this particular product, the implementation and it working within the Motorola ecosystem that we already have functioning is imperative. So that's the reason why this is a sole source. And I'm happy to kind of drill in on some of those other questions if you guys have a question about the other companies. Like I said, I've been trying to get this tool in front of everybody for a lot of years. We actually purchased a couple license plate readers, 3 fixed systems, and then one that we put on one of our canine vehicles a couple years ago. So we've done about 2 years of testing to make sure the product does what we think it'll do, and it's as useful as other agencies that have had it for a long time say it is. And then also kind of give our guys an idea of, is it, you know, a tool that they don't really have time to use, or if it's, you know, an important tool that they want. Because of the amount of money there, we really felt like we needed to do our due diligence there. The last part of this, which isn't included in this, is the installation quotes. I still haven't gotten that nailed down, and then the ADOT licensing I'll do myself, so we won't be having to pay anybody to do licensing. The last part is the constituent concerns. So the 2 biggest constituent concerns that'll come up, if they do come up, it comes up in different parts of the country. I don't really think we'll deal with it here, but in case it does. So what this tool does is we post these up on streets and we put these on highways, and it takes a picture of the license plate. It stores the picture of the vehicle and the license plate information into a database. That what this does is we don't store the information ourselves. We're leasing, you know, we purchase the hardware that gathers the data, but we're really just leasing access to the database that stores all of these locations of where these license plates were photographed at. So the biggest concern is privacy. People feel like, hey, you're taking pictures of me, where I'm going and what I'm doing. We're not really taking pictures of the person, it's the license plate and where that license plate was at a given moment, which feeds into the next biggest concern, which is FOIA, or Freedom of Information Act requests. So when this first came out, everybody was concerned that Joe Citizen would come in and say, hey, I want to know where this person's going. And now, us being the government, if we have a record, we're required to disclose it. They don't have to have a good reason or any reason, really. They just can come in and ask for anything. And if we have the record, we have to share it. But because we don't actually have the record of this license plate information, we merely have access to it. If there is a request that comes in for this information, we just have to refer them on to Motorola to find that. And what I mean by that, because, you know, how does that concept apply? So probably the easiest, simplest way is husband's concerned about where his wife is, wants to come in and say, hey, I want to know where this license plate's been. We would not disclose anything that has to do with the license plate reader information. We'd provide anything related to a sheriff's office record of a citation or a traffic stop, or where that plate was contacted by a cop, but not every time that license plate crossed one of our license plate readers. So that's everybody's biggest concern, is people can find out where they're going and what they're doing. The entity, Motorola, that stores all this info would not have to just succumb to a random request for information. They'd have to get a court order to do that. So that's the biggest point of contention there. There's, you know, that's the unfortunate side of this, but there's tons of success stories of us solving crimes related to figuring out a vehicle was headed in a certain direction. Our drug enforcement guys, when they pull over a vehicle they suspect of drug smuggling, most of the time they know where that vehicle has been long before they walk up to the operator and get the information. So it's a huge tool in determining if there's deception and criminal activity occurring. The Tonto Basin burglary we had a couple of years ago, we were able to kind of get a general idea of where that stolen vehicle was and where that burglar was based on some license plate reader information. We don't have a ton of stories to share because we've only had a couple of cameras installed, but you know, in a short amount of time, assuming you guys agree to us using these tools, in a short amount of time, I'd be happy to discuss some success stories and maybe failures that I didn't see coming. So Does that strike up any questions or concerns with you guys?
Supervisor Humphrey.
Yeah, like everything, it's a double-edged sword. Time by staff or personnel. I mean, so is it up to each individual officer, like if he wants to read a plate or something, then he seeks this information, or will it go back to your office staff to check for that information? I'm just saying, if you have a bunch of cameras out there, and like you say, then you have a bunch of requests, that management part of getting that information out and to whoever needs it.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and that's a really important question, because every cop has access to the database. It's a website that they're granted access to once their identity is confirmed that they do work for a law enforcement agency. And the way this licensing works is any agency within Gila County, because the way this funding source works is we have to make it available to any law enforcement agency in the county. So all the police departments and tribal law enforcement within the county would have access to this, and the officer themselves have access. There's a million tools in there that I couldn't even begin to explain, but the cop themselves can put in a license plate, run a query, and know within an extremely short amount of time of everywhere that plate's been in the last week, 2 weeks, 30 days. In terms of it notifying us when there's, say, a silver alert or an amber alert or any alert that's been placed on placed within a national database related to that plate, that information will hit all the officers as well as our dispatch center. So there's some added benefit there of, even if a car goes by and a cop doesn't think, well, there's criminal activity involved, if it's related to an amber alert or it's a stolen vehicle or it's been earmarked as a vehicle involved in human smuggling, it's going to alert everybody within our entity that vehicle just went past that plate.
Another question is, if everyone has access to this, will their activity be overseen?
Yeah. So we've only had one records request from the county attorney's office, or through the county attorney's office, from a defendant to know what this officer did, what their query was, what they saw, and how they did it. So everything within these systems is tracked through that clicking. It doesn't really create like an audit report automatically. We kind of have to go in and audit the officer. So if a citizen filed a complaint, if a defendant's attorney wants information related to the amount of queries or what was queried, that we can provide to anybody who needs it for audit purposes or internal investigations.
Yeah, I'm sure all of our officers are great officers, but temptation is one thing, and so as long as they're overseen,
trust but verify.
That's a question I had, so thank you.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Supervisor Klein.
So Cole, these will be in all the patrol units?
So the purchase of this 175K, it gives us 25 fixed cameras that I plan to put along the highways coming in and out of Gila County and a couple of areas within Gila County, and then systems on 4 mobile vehicles.
Okay.
So you guys might have seen, we're late to the party on this. They've been all over the country for a long, long time. There's other agencies within Gila County that have some also. We're just looking to put them in more strategic areas. So they just sit along the highway. You'll see a solar panel and like a little camera on it.
Okay, cool. Be interesting to see how you do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. I can see why people would consider privacy, Big Brother, all that stuff. That's been coming for so long that it just keeps layers. So anyway, we're here to catch bad people and help people, not try and track everybody's whereabouts. So
yeah, we could care less about their whereabouts. We're just going to catch the bad guys.
I hope you would care less. Joe.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, to respond to a question that Supervisor Humphrey asked, Arizona Post also has the ability to audit these records, and more than one law enforcement officer in Arizona has either been suspended or lost their certification for misuse of these electronic storage systems.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good point. When concerns do arise, we do have the ability to drill in on what that cop did and hold them accountable to inappropriate activity.
Yep. Thank you. Right, with that, I will call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve contract number 101223 M0T GC1 with Motorola Solutions Incorporated as.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion to approve and second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, Cole.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
5N, information discussion action to approve a cooperative law enforcement agreement number 26LE11031200-035, replacing agreement number 21-LE-11031200-038. It's between the Gila County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Forest Service. The operating and financial plan will be incorporated as Exhibit A to this agreement. The amount of the agreement is $74,800 for the performance period of January 1, 26 through December 31, 26. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. Yeah, basically, this is just the annual renewal on this, the money that we get reimbursed from the Forest Service for us doing patrolling in the Forest Service areas and enforcing laws.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor Humphrey.
I have no question.
Supervisor Klein.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, thank you, and with that, I'll call for motion.
I move to approve cooperative law enforcement agreement number 26-LE11031200-035, replacing agreement number 21-LE-11031200-038 between the Gila County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service. The operating and financial plan will be incorporated as Exhibit A to this agreement as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion to approve and seconded. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Are you also Sarah White today?
I am.
Okay. Thank you. Information discussion on 5O. Information discussion action to approve the use of Arizona State Procurement Cooperative Contract number CTR 077662 with Curtis Blue Line in the amount of $64,323.70 for the purchase of 57 ballistic helmets. Jim.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. This situation in 2021 was when we last purchased ballistic helmets for the deputies. That includes patrol, our investigations, and that. Those are coming up on their end of life. They'll be due for replacement in June of this year. Normally, the life expectancy on those, it's the same as the ballistic armor that we have. They've got that expiration date. Generally, it's 5 years. These helmets that we have are coming up on their 5-year expiration date. In this particular case, the helmets we were able to locate have a 10-year warranty. So we would actually be looking at getting double the amount of time. And the expense, it's a little bit more than what a 5-year warranted helmet would be, but it's less than what doubling the price. So in the long run, we're actually getting helmets that are going to last longer for less money.
Great. Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
Good to go. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, so there's a perishable or a deteriorating portion to the composition there.
Yes.
Just ages. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. With that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve the use of Arizona State Procurement Cooperative Contract number CTR 0772 with Curtis Blue Line as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Next item 5P, information discussion action to ratify the Board of Supervisors' approval for Sheriff's Office electronic submission of 2 fiscal year 2027 grant applications to the Governor's Office of Highway Safety for law enforcement projects. Number 1, request funding assistance to provide overtime funding in the amount of $75,725, of which $60,644 is for personal and $15,081 is for employee-related expenses to enhance speed enforcement throughout Gila County. And number two, request funding assistance in the amount of $193,617 to purchase 2 unmarked vehicles, adopt resolution number 260404, and authorize the chairman's signature on the certification form, all of which are components of the grant application.
Again, this is something that we've used GOHS, or Governor's Office of Highway Safety funds, over the last few years to purchase equipment, everything from LiDAR speed measurement guns to other equipment such as this. The overtime component is good. We have deputies that will actually be able to come in outside of their normally scheduled shift and focus on doing traffic enforcement in areas where we've determined we might have an issue with speed complaints or DUI drivers. What this fund will do will allow us to continue to do what we've had a great measure of success with this past year. The unmarked cars that this references to, I was asked to clarify, what we're looking at is what's called the ghost marked vehicle. Some of you may have seen we've got a couple of green ones right now running around the county that at first glance the untrained eye might not realize it's a vehicle that's one of ours, but when you look at it closely, or at night if you hit it with that reflective marking on it, you can see that it is in fact a fully marked vehicle, but it's just kind of subdued because the markings are similar to the color of what the vehicle is.
Okay, Supervisor Humphrey.
I have no questions.
Okay, Supervisor Klein.
I'm good.
Yeah, the only question I have, it's not related to you at all, is why do we have to vote on a grant submission or application? I don't know why we would have to vote on that. I don't know why we can't just vote on the receiving of the grant.
We can certainly do that. Typically, we bring to you grants that if there's a matching component, because that would require.
Okay, I understand that one, yeah.
Funds, so that's,
But we still have to approve the final one, okay. So, okay, so this is a formality that we could forego.
if there is no matching component, we certainly could, yes.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I will call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to ratify the Board of Supervisors' approval for the Sheriff's Office electronic submission of 2 FFY 2027 grant applications to the Governor's Office of Highway Safety for law enforcement projects. The first, request funding assistance to provide overtime in the amount of $75,725, of which $60,644 is for personnel and $15,081 is for ERE, employee-related expenses, to enhance speed enforcement throughout Gila County. Second one is to request funding assistance in the amount of $193,617 to purchase 2 unmarked vehicles, adopt resolution number 26-04-04, and authorize the chairman's signature on the certification form, all of which are components for the grant applications.
That's a nice motion.
Long one.
Mr. Chair, before I second that, yeah, I like to know what grants that are being put in for to ask questions before all of a sudden we're voting on accepting one and didn't know it was coming. But with that said, I will second Supervisor Klein's motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. And so with the comments, I would say that let's go ahead and keep doing it as we have been doing it. Thank you. Item 5Q, information, discussion, action to approve the use of one government procurement alliance contract number 2202PV18 with Sentinel Technologies in the amount of $70,195.33 for the purchase of 16 storage drives. Carrie.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Board of Supervisors. How are y'all today? This is for 16 additional storage drives for our new environment that we have acquired. So we needed some additional storage for some of the data, so.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good, thank you, Kerry.
All right, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the use of one government procurement alliance contract number 22-02 VP-18 with Sentinel Technologies Incorporated as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. 5R, information discussion action to approve contract number CTR 075949-GC2 with Frontier Technology LLC doing business as Micro Edge for Payson firewall replacement for maximum contract amount not to exceed $53,001.44.
This is to upgrade our 2 firewalls that we have in Payson to keep us in compliance with security and everything with the protocols and keep our hardware safe, so.
Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good.
Thank you very much, Kerry. With that, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve contract number CTR 075949 GC2 with Frontier Technology LLC, DBA Micro Edge as presented.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Great. Motion to approve and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, Kerry. 5S, information, discussion, action regarding premium rates in the Arizona Local Government Employee Benefit Trust for Gila County's employee insurance and benefit plans to be effective July 1st, 2026 as follows. Adopt Schedule A, employee insurance contributions, fiscal year 2027, attached to this agenda item. Maren.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Cassie, can we open, I believe it's called Schedule A, the first attachment there? Thank you. Mr. Chair, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein, annually we provide you and our staff and our insurance trust with this document that shows our annual commitment through the benefit trust to provide 90% cost coverage for our single subscribers and 76% cost coverage for our family subscribers. As we lay this out, we then go a little bit further down the page. Cassie, if you wouldn't mind scrolling down a smidge. Whoop, is it giving us a hard time? That shows, we break down the monthly and per pay period cost change down here where it shows comparison to previous years. I guess that header needed to be updated. So for our single participants who have completed the wellness tracker and who subscribe to Vision, PPO, which is our preferred provider network, and dental coverage, there will be a $3.28 difference in the per paycheck amount for fiscal year 27. For family subscribers who have completed the wellness tracker and who subscribe to the PPO coverage along with vision and dental, that difference will be $18.57 per paycheck. And that does work out to Gila County providing 90% coverage for our single subscribers and 76% coverage to our family subscribers. This is an increase over previous years, but I know that our representatives at the Benefit Trust negotiated strongly to ensure that this was minimized as much as possible.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
No questions.
Supervisor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, it's just a bitter pill to chew every year.
It is, and I would like to update, the footer on this says the activity tracker is due 5/31. We heard from HR yesterday, it's actually due on 4/24, so it's due in 3 weeks. All staff are aware of that at this time.
Okay, thank you. With that, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt Schedule A, Employee Insurance Contributions Fiscal Year 2027, attached to this agenda item for Gila County's Employees Insurance and Benefit Plan to be effective July 1st, 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you very
Maren.
much.
All right, we've already addressed item 5T. We'll go to 5U, information, discussion, action to adopt a proclamation number 2026-01 proclaiming April 2026 as National County Government Month in Gila County. James.
Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein, typical in April that we declare April as County Government Month. Have a press release that's set to go out as if this is adopted. And it states, Gila County, Arizona, April 1st, 2026. Gila County will celebrate National County Government Month during the month of April to showcase how the county supports residents and builds healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. Gila County is proud of the programs and services we provide to our residents, and we are shedding light on these opportunities and resources in the hopes of strengthening the connection between our county government and the local community. Said Board Chairman Steve Christensen, quote, "The nation is celebrating 250 years of independence this year, and Gila County and all other counties have a long and rich history of serving residents," close quote. Since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties nationwide to raise public awareness of county roles, responsibilities, and services during April. National County Government Month is an opportunity to tell the county story and highlight how county government serves residents every day. And at the bottom, to visit a couple of websites that give information. Express appreciation to Ms. Sherry Grice, who works very hard to put together a packet of information and make sure that residents are aware of the services and things that we do as a county and provide a lot of first tier services to people. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
No question.
Supervisor Klein.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Sherry.
Yes, thank you. And with that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to adopt proclamation number 2026-01.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item 5V, information, discussion, action to approve Discover Gila County's final marketing plan and 5-year strategic plan for the Tourism and Marketing Initiative for Gila County. James presenting. We also have Cameron Davis in the room.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, if I could defer to Mr. Davis, I would be pleased to do so.
Okay. Come on up, Cameron. How are you today? Thanks for being patient.
Doing good. Mr. Chair, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein, thank you this morning for having us come in. What you have in front of you today is actually in accordance with what we did a couple of weeks ago, where we came in and talked about the marketing plan. We showed you various different parts of that plan. And so what we're looking today is just to have you formally support the plan. We feel that this is really important. In the very beginning, I think we did a great job of pulling together stakeholders that have been vital in this process. And Gila County and the Gila County Board of Supervisors obviously are the biggest stakeholders in that entire process. And so this is just a formal way of saying that we're all pulling the old proverbial plow to make this successful. So
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Supervisor Humphrey.
No, just thank you for all you do and have done, Cameron. Thank you.
Bet.
Supervisor Klein.
Same with me, Cameron.
All right.
And I understand your son Chaz is making a move, but he's still helping you and working via computers.
He will still be 100% part of our company.
That's
so,
great. Appreciate all that you do.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve Discover Gila County's final marketing plan and 5-year strategic plan for the Tourism and Marketing Initiative for Gila County as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Thanks again.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 5W, information, discussion, action to approve amendment number 3 to contract number 012023 with D2 Surveying LLC for professional on-call land surveyor services, extending the term of the contract through April 17th, 2027, with no charge to the maximum compensation of $100,000 annually. We have Matt with us, and I see we also have Tom.
Yes, that's correct, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
Okay, Matt.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Humphrey, Supervisor Klein. Thanks for the time. This item is being brought to you as the third and final amendment to the renewal of the contract agreement that we have with D2 Surveying Services. D2 Surveying provides some assistance for us if there are projects that we can't get to, or if our staff is overloaded. So they help out on an as-needed basis. We went through the RFQ process, and they were selected for contract. This says that it will have no change to the maximum compensation of 100,000 years annually. Typically, we don't see that. Like, for instance, last year that we only spent, or would have spent, about $32,000 for this. Some of that $32,000 was from the NRCS projects. So this is just to provide some additional resources in the event that our staff is unavailable to get some survey done. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Humphrey.
No question.
Supervisor Klein.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, very good. I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve amendment number 3, contract number 012023 with D2 Surveying LLC as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Item number 5X, information, discussion, action to approve amendment number 1, contract number CTR 058876 with Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated for Gila County Material Source Pits, the Braddock, the Raymer, the Castle Dome, and 824. Environmental documents extending the term of the contract through December 31st, 2026 with no modification to the contract amount. Matt.
Thank you. This event, this item is for the environmental documents for the material pits that we have. We use the material pits for gravel, for our roads, for backfill, for some of the things that we have. And the Braddock, Raymer, the Castle Dome, and the 824 pits are pits that we use to get that material from. As part of that, when we're looking at expanding, we have to do environmental assessments on the surrounding areas. Kimley Horn was selected with that to provide those services for us. There's no change to the contract amount. It's just extending the contract through December of 2026.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Supervisor Humphrey?
Just one question. Are we looking to, in the future, to come up with some more material pits?
We are, but those are still in very preliminary stages at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Klein?
Where's 824 at?
I'll defer to Tom. Where's 824?
Yeah, that's up by Young Road, on Young Road.
Okay, Ball Springs. Okay, so another question is, if we have more pits in the works, you know, that we're looking at maybe getting finalized and done, when are those gonna come to the forefront so we can get those started?
We at this point, I can't answer that because it's still so preliminary on where we're looking. It could be anywhere from 18 months to 2 years before we get the environmental clearance and everything for it.
So, okay, but, and that's not these pits here.
Correct. These are already here, and it's the environmental documents is just if we were to expand the footprint of those pits.
The county works very slowly. And so when you tell me up to 2 years, I'm thinking 4 to 6. But what I really see is that pits are a must for our road departments. And a lot of times they have to travel so far from one pit where they're working, it's not feasible. Whereas if we had a pit to cut that distance way down, especially now with diesel $6 a gallon. So I'm just hoping maybe they'll come to the forefront sooner than later.
We can certainly look and see what we can do to move those forward to more strategic locations, more central to our operations.
These have been in the works now for for a while.
Yes.
And we're gonna wrap them up in December 31st is what you're thinking?
That's not to say that we'll stop using them. That's just for Kimley Horn to provide the environmental clearances for those pits. We'll continue to still use those pits even beyond December 2026.
Yeah, 824 is a new one, pretty much. And so the sooner we can get those wrapped up too, the better off we're gonna be. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve amendment number 1 to contract number CTR 058876 with Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated as presented.
And I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 5Y is information discussion action to approve contract number FY24-PW-04-GC1 for Gibson Ranch Road roadway improvement project. The post-design services with Dibble and Associates Consulting Engineers Incorporated for a not-to-exceed contract of $99,567 for the term of April 7th, 2026 through May 6th, 2027. Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Supervisors. This one, as you know, we're working towards the chip seal of Gibson Ranch Road. One of the requirements with that is we have to have an on-site archaeological monitor for any archaeological sites. And so Dibble and Associates is the contractor that's been awarded for that or recommended for that. And so we would just ask that you consider this so that we can have the archaeological monitor on site in the event that we need to address any archaeological sites on Gibson Ranch Road.
Thank you. Supervisor Humphrey?
No questions.
Supervisor Klein?
It's kind of like having a biologist on site at the bridge for a snake. It's just the way we spend money. And we have no choice. I mean, that's just part of the requirement, so, thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we're just improving an existing road. How are we gonna run into other archaeological sites? That's not really for you to answer. Anyway, yeah, let's just do, it's just $100,000, no big deal. So, anyway, with that, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve contract number FY24-PW-04-GC1 with Dibble and Associates Consulting Engineers Incorporated as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. And maybe just if I could add a footnote, that's just a not to exceed amount. If we don't need the archaeological monitor on site, then we won't spend that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. I feel much better. Thank you, Matt. We managed to make it through the whole list here. Let's move on to our item 6 consent agenda items. We have items 6A through 6Q. Supervisor Humphrey, would you like to talk about one or more of those separately?
I'd like to talk about one. I don't know that we need to pull it. I just want to show appreciation for Mr. Shelby Borrowdale to be willing to take the place of Mr. Scott Spencer on our Gila County Planning and Zoning Commission. He's a local general contractor. He's serving on our IDA as well as now I think he's going to leave that now that he has chosen to be on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I just want to publicly thank him for his time to help us with planning and zoning as Gila County.
Very much. Thank you. No, I don't think we need to pull that for a separate vote. So Supervisor Klein, any?
No, I'm good.
Then I'll call for a motion to approve consent agenda items 6A through 6Q.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve consent agenda items 6A through 6Q.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Call to the public. Is there anyone in Payson, Lisa, that wishes to address the board?
No, sir.
Did she say no?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Cassandra? No. Anyone here in Globe that wishes to speak to the board? No. Item number 8 is our current events. Manager Menlove.
Mr. Chairman, last week attended through the Arizona Commerce Authority a reforming of the opportunity zones funding for that. I think in the past, couple of big problems that we've had with having opportunity zone money in rural is that the investors, they go out and get investors to put money into potential projects. That money all went to essentially Phoenix metropolitan area and Pima County. And so there was not a lot of money for rural. Supposedly, the investors are telling us now that there is money this time around for equal opportunity, opportunity zones 2.0, that they're calling it, that there is money that is being invested, and it's specifically for rural. We do have the Arizona Commerce Authority opportunity zones coming to Gila County. It'll be held in the Globe Council chambers, but they'll do a presentation. We can have a discussion of utilizing the opportunity zones. I've been told that the governor will consider some changes in the opportunity zones. We have no opportunity zones in northern Gila County. We do have a couple in southern Gila County. A large part of Globe was left out of that. I think incumbent upon us to pursue having the entirety of this valley, Globe, Miami, Central Heights area declared an opportunity zone, that we can more fully utilize those opportunities here in this area, particularly with the flooding that's gone on. So that'll be in a couple weeks, and look forward to having that discussion. I'll be here Friday down in the valley at the county managers and administrators meeting to discuss issues affecting the counties as a whole throughout the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manlove. Supervisor Humphrey.
Yeah, I held a project team meeting with Public Works on the 25th. I attended a wastewater collection and treatment system groundbreaking ceremony on the 30th. Attended a regional council meeting. I'm on the board of the CAG Regional Council. On the 1st, I'll hold a Tonto Basin community meeting tonight at 5 at the Chamber of Commerce. Public meeting, no agenda. We'll hold a team meeting with county manager, deputy county manager, finance, health, and community development director on the 8th, and I will attend the Lincoln Day dinner on the 10th. And that about does it for me.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Klein.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. Last week on the 30th, I attended the Tri-City Regional Sanitary District, which we were all there. Yep. It was a really good turnout. Yesterday I was on KMOG. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'll be judging at the 4-H beef cook-off at the fairgrounds. And then I will also be at the Lincoln Day dinner Friday evening.
Thank you, Supervisor. Yes, I attended Jake Garrett's memorial, spoke a few words is all, and was very well attended by his big family, lots of friends, lots of people there, filled up the room. Was very nice. He was very loved man, was one of our best employees, and we have a lot of really good employees. Jake was very special. And so it was good to be able to participate in that. I was also at the Veterans Coffee Time last Tuesday. At the groundbreaking, we were all there. I also met last week with Randy and Kim with Community Development, and we had a good long meeting about different things that they're working on. And I also will be at the Lincoln Day dinner this coming Friday. So that's all I have for my report. And we're going to start something new today. We'll continue with it. Item number 9 here is a request for future agenda items. This will be something that the board members will be able to speak up and utilize at this point in the agenda, anything that they would like to see on a future agenda. You can propose whatever that is. It's still sort of the discretion of the chairman, how that proceeds, but it's a better communication avenue, I think, to help us to understand what each member is wanting to look at without us having to break open meeting laws to communicate that. So it just is a smoother, easier, transitional way of doing that, I think. So communication is very important, and this is one of those. So I'll reach out to the supervisors now to see if they have anything that they would like. Supervisor Humphrey.
Yeah, this is I think this is a lot better method than going to the podium.
I think so, yes.
I think it will work. But yes, there is a couple things. I would like a work session on our 220-day projects, where we at with them, how they're going, what's going on, where we're at with those. An update perhaps on a work session, and also to our landfill expansion. Where are we at with that? What's it's going, what's the life of our, how close are we to filling ours before that expansion is really necessary? Kind of just updated on those projects, I would appreciate.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Klein.
Tim, are you talking about doing that all under the work session? I don't know if I can.
Well, I think the thing of it is they're probably gonna need to be two different items. I don't know how you could discuss both of them at the same time without getting confused. But those are interests of mine that I would like to have a work session on.
So your first one on the 220 days on our, just a brief, briefing on our 220-day projects is good. That's a good one. I was thinking the same thing. The landfills, public works, maybe in general, whether that's staffing, equipment, whatever it is, I'd like to make sure that's added in with your other one that you threw out there.
Oh, on the landfill expansion updates and management?
Landfill, not only expansions, expansions
operations and
part of it, but operations and everything else. Where are we at with our land?
Okay.
How's that setting in? Some of that's going to come out in this 220-day NRCS projects too, because there's a part of the landfills where we have a ton of material to move. So I see that coming up. And Joe, you gonna shut me down?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is meant to allow individual supervisors to suggest future items, not to create a discussion among the supervisors on any particular item. And so the county attorney's office would ask the board members to keep that in mind as you suggest items for future agendas. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like a work session on the 220-day projects we have. And I'd like to have a work session on the landfill expansions and operations and public works in general. No disrespect, Joe, but I think that's ridiculous. But I see that where if we can have the discussions and have something come together for the good of all of us, but if I need to repeat stuff, yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, just working our way through. On my list, I have regular updates for the 220-day project. We need to know as a board before we reach day 200 that we've got a huge problem, okay? And I've already spoken with Christine about this, and so she's aware also that we should review those regularly. How are we doing? Landfill expansion is very important to talk about, and the expense of it. What are we running into there? So that's a separate study, a separate line item. I would like to also see a facilities update on all the various projects that we have going on through facilities. Okay? Not that I'm suspicious about anything, but I just need to know, where are we with this project and that project? Community development. I had a long meeting with Randy and Kim. Community development doesn't have a lot of employees, but it's a very important aspect of the county. And I feel that the county is growing, especially in certain pockets like Young or Tunnel Basin, it's going to have an impact. We need to have a work session on the concerns of community development, the successes or the failings or the timelines or the fees, and all of the different things that we're going to have to deal with regard to our fee schedule and also our, the word's not coming to me, the various zoning issues that we have, and also our ordinance with regard to what we're adopting and what we think about all that. So that's an important work session there, I think. And then also, we've spoken about this before, and I'll mention it again. We need to have soon some specifics on how are we going to pay for this bond, whether we take out this amount, another amount, or whatever. What would it mean if we tried to monetize our flood district? I know that's raising taxes and what that looks like. If we did monetize it, what would be some suggestions, things like that? I think it's better that we know the answers rather than avoid the question. We need to know everything that we have as a tool to help us. I see that the loan, the bond, whatever, is going to impact us $1 million or $2 million per year, possibly. And that's significant when we don't, in my mind, have that kind of extra stuff. I'd like to know what we have in our reserves. I actually don't have a figure in my head on what we have that's money in reserve, whether it's HERF money or whether it's other money. So I would like to be more informed of our financial health. Okay, so that's a long list. We got them. We're not going to do it all in one meeting, but I'd like to see those in the future, and we may add to that list next meeting. So I think it's great that the board has this ability to communicate what we want to see and be more interactive in it. And that's all I have today. So if there's nothing else, I will adjourn our meeting. Thank you.